All right, you guys, we're doing a live reaction to the crypto market free fall. Oh my God. What is happening here? I'm excited. I'm excited, dude. Anytime I see the crypto markets crash, when I see Bitcoin go down like crazy, one, I make a ton of money because I make money off swing trading against Bitcoin. I swing trade the SBIT, so I buy the SBIT when it's low and sell it when it's high. I do trickle selling. Crypto markets are crashing. That's good. It's good news for Zaddy, man. I'm looking good, dude. I'm looking real good. Yeah, when the crypto markets fall, dude, I stand tall, dude. All right, so I'm buying a little S&P 500. So for every SBIT I sell, I buy some. I buy some of the Schwab U.S. large cap ETF on the dip. So I do swing trade. I'm trying to get back into swing trading the SEHX because one, I prefer buying a very safe ETF on the dip. I know, am I going to make a ton of money off this? No, but I'm going to make enough money on a weekly basis by swing trading. And I love swing trading, by the way. I'm all about that life. It's a bit of a hobby, but it's a way to make extra money. One moment though. What up, random player? It's good to see you back on the chat. Just remember, if you want to beat random player does pay the super chat toll to get to number one. So I will give random player props for supporting the show. Thank you very much, and let's keep rolling. So I think we have the chat connected. There we go. By the way, the chat, the highlighting of the chats is brought to you by Social Stream Ninja. Very, very convenient, very handy. Keeps the show operation costs low. And if you're new here, tap the $ for a super chat. Skip the line. I'll read yours first. But what up, random player? How you doing? Are you excited about the cryptocurrency freefall as much as I am? Look, whenever the crypto markets crash, I get a little hot and heavy. All right, I guess you could say I get a little stimulated in certain places when I see crypto markets crash because I know that Bitcoin at the end of the day is a Ponzi scheme and that it has no intrinsic value. So betting against Bitcoin just makes sense to me because it's just so dumb. Now, I do swing trade, like I said, the SBIT. And it's a good swing trade play, man. I really enjoy it. Not going to lie, I love watching the crypto markets crash. Just because, like I always say, crypto is grifto at the end of the day. It's just a grifter currency. So random player says, when it falls, I buy Bitcoin. Why do you buy Bitcoin when it falls? Here's the thing, man. There's a chance that Bitcoin never goes back up. There's always that chance you're taking when you buy Bitcoin on the dip. Because I consider buying Bitcoin like buying a penny stock, right? Penny stocks have not proven themselves to be cash flow positive. We don't even know if some of the things that they're doing are good for the company. Penny stocks are usually in debt. Now, that's a different story. When you're buying into Bitcoin, you're just hoping that everybody's going to hype it up on the internet. Bitcoin's price is solely determined, obviously, by supply and demand. People wanting to buy versus how many people wanting to sell. Get it? But that's all it's about. It's all about what the market deems its price at. Nobody ever takes the time to look at Bitcoin as a product and think, what is this actually worth? You know what I mean? Nobody takes the time to say, like, hey, what is Bitcoin actually worth? Is it actually worth investing into? Is it worth me trading my dollars for this digital string of data that's backed by nothing at all in reality? No. Bitcoin is garbage. Just going to put that out there. Random player says it always goes up. Don't you look at the charts? But why does it go up? Why does it go up? It's because of hype. Just because, okay, by the way, past performance does not equal future results. I'm going to repeat that. Past performance does not guarantee future results. In fact, you could argue that the reason that Bitcoin is on a bull run is because people on the internet have actually marketed it very well. If you go on Reddit, people are convinced. Bitcoin has become kind of a digital cult, in my opinion. And the only reason people take it seriously now is because there's Bitcoin spot ETFs. You can now put Bitcoin in your 401k, which I believe is a bad call, by the way. Don't do that. I think it's stupid. I really don't think that Bitcoin is the future. In fact, if anything, I am the anti-Michael Saylor, by the way. Michael Saylor says Bitcoin's the future. I say that Bitcoin is Clitcoin. I say that Bitcoin is garbage. I think that all cryptocurrencies are garbage, by the way. I just don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. Just because something here's the thing. Just because something always goes up doesn't mean it's worth investing in. I repeat, look at Bitcoin as a product, okay? If I look at the S&P 500 as a product, there's 500 companies that have proven cash flows. These are real companies that do real things. They produce. They have assets, but they produce, right? They do something. They can pay their shareholders a dividend, by the way, because they're a productive asset. They provide a product or a service for the world. What product or service does Bitcoin really provide? Really, at the end of the day, Bitcoin, what you're holding is a string of data. It's not backed by anything but an open source piece of software. And by the way, Bitcoin has many competitors, and Bitcoin has not evolved that much, just to let you know. So Bitcoin is not digital gold, it is digital mold. By the way, Bitcoin is not digital gold. I repeat, it is digital mold. Got it? It's moldy. Just saying. Random player says, I don't care about any of that. I make a ton of money, and it lets me do anything I want. Sleep all day, play games. I spent 12. Here's the thing, man. If you made money on Bitcoin, fantastic. But, man, you better protect your downside, because when that bear market happens, it comes fast. And it looks like it's coming right now. And the level of... I think my problem with the Bitcoin community is they're just so sure that they're right about Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin, by all metrics, is Clitcoin, is what I like to call it. It's wild. Man, SBIT is up big time. And here's the thing, man. Real institutional investors, people who actually know how to invest, know that Bitcoin is garbage. They know it's absolute trash. And they're willing to do exactly what I do, and that is bet against it. Because people who have any inkling of principles understand that Bitcoin is garbage. And I'm actually keeping a very close eye on what the markets are doing right now. Dude, the crypto markets are in pure free fall right now. This is great. By the way, I do bet against Bitcoin. I mean, I've been fully transparent about it on this channel. I love seeing the crypto markets go down. Not because I buy more Bitcoin on the dip. First off, like I said, I buy the SBIT on the dip because it does minus 2x what Bitcoin does. In fact, I'm going to educate you guys on the SBIT. Give me a few seconds. Getting more data on this. But yeah, no, this is very exciting, man. Batshit Crazy says silver. No, I think silver is a great investment, actually. Look, I would rather have silver or gold in a safe than have a savings account, if we're going to be honest. In fact, if anything, I think putting money, trading my money away for a gold ETF is actually a good choice. I think gold is a better preserver of wealth. Holding cash for too long is a bad call because of how much cash degenerates over time. I will say gold does a very good job of protecting, I would say at least protecting for the most part against inflation. Give me a few seconds, folks. Checking something. How many did I get? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh yeah, I'm profiting pretty heavily right now. Trickle selling, trickle buying. Look, I love the SBIT, man. It really is my favorite ETF. It's my favorite leveraged ETF because I feel comfortable betting against Bitcoin just because of the lack of intrinsic value that Bitcoin actually has. It's just Bitcoin is just not worth it. I just think that Bitcoin is too dumb for its own good. I do believe that only the dumb money is attracted to Bitcoin. And that's my belief on that one, man. Let's see. Okay, I'm missing a lot of chats here. Okay. Let's see. Roger says, "What's the value of Dogecoin as of today?" I don't know. I have no clue. I don't really care. Look at Dogecoin's stupid, but I guess I'll look at the crypto markets real quick. Look, all crypto's grifto at the end of the day, and my goodness, Bitcoin is down 2.06%. The sell-off is continuing. The entire crypto market's in pure free fall right now. Damn. I think a lot of people are unloading crypto because they realize it's a Ponzi scheme, and rightfully so they should, because it is a Ponzi scheme. It's freaking ridiculous. All cryptocurrencies are grifto. There's no cryptocurrency that's even remotely valuable. Dogecoin's down 4.5% today. Oh, wow. Look at that. Man, I'm not going to lie. because of all the abuse that I've gotten from all the crypto bros, I love seeing the crypto markets crash because it always happens. What happens is the crypto markets go on a bull run. As it goes on a bull run, I slowly trickle bet against. I trickle buy the SBIT, right? And that allows me to have the advantage. Roger says you should invest some of that elsewhere. Yes, at Random Player. Yes, absolutely. Random Player says my miner is always making me money. They will always make a little less for those months. Then I'll buy the S23. Random Player, hey, if you're making money mining Bitcoin somehow, do it. I don't know. Do what you got to do. I just think that Bitcoin is a net negative to society. And it's basically, it's for gamblers. It's for people who don't understand what real money is, what sound money is. Bitcoin is not sound money. I'm just going to say that again. Bitcoin is not sound money. It's fake money. It's BS private money. And I think it is one of the worst things in the world. And it is a net negative to society. I think it's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. I still don't understand the appeal. Like, I don't know. Nofo says, what did you spend 12K on? Random Player says 3K on a TV, 4K on a 5090 graphics card, and 5K on 2 more miners. Jeez. You know, you could have put those in real investments, or you could have, you know what you could have done? You could have actually bet against Bitcoin, you know? You could have kind of hedged your bets and actually took that 12K and put it into the SBIT, but not financial advice. Make sure that you guys subscribe and like the channel. Chat is open, but I'm answering super chats first. Drop one and skip the line. I'll read it on screen and react and pin the highlights. Random Player 717 says, I wanted a 100-inch display for my 5090 PC. Nofo says, cool. What do you think I should start with if I never invested? If you've never invested before, I think, you know, honestly, starting out with broad-based ETFs. I'll give you an example. Like ETFs that, I think if you wanted to really start out and get massively diversified early, the Vanguard Total World Index would be a good one. Because it exposes you to the entire U.S. market and quite a bit of the international market. Me personally, though, I love the VX US because I think it exposes you to more international stocks in the long run, at least as far as total holdings are concerned. So I tend to lean towards the VX US for my international exposure, but there's also other ETFs out there. I also love the emerging market ETFs. Those are really cool to have in your portfolio, in my opinion. Random Player says the main thing is y'all can bet against Bitcoin. You do you. I do me. I mean, dude, betting against Bitcoin is the smartest thing in the world. Anything with an intrinsic value of 0 eventually goes to 0. So if you made all this money, Random Player, on Bitcoin, then you should know that hedging your bets, hedging your downside is the smartest thing you can do. I'm not saying, by the way, Random Player, I'm not saying you should get out of Bitcoin. What I'm saying is you should protect yourself. You should hedge against Bitcoin. I think it's a good idea. Not financial advice. Talk to a financial advisor. I still don't think Bitcoin's a real financial instrument. I think it's phony baloney dildo money, but whatever. Evil Tim Smith says, no, back when Bitcoin was big, some websites would let you pay with it. Enough. Yeah, I mean, people did. It's unfortunate. Nofo says, oh, okay. Random Player says, nah, you convert your Bitcoin into dollars using Coinbase, then send that to your bank account. Ain't hard at all. Takes a few seconds. Here's the thing. You're assuming that Bitcoin's always going to be valuable. You're assuming that Bitcoin will go up forever. Eventually, Bitcoin is going to go the way of the NFT. NFTs are stupid. So is Bitcoin. They're both equally stupid in my book because they're both BS digital products. And once again, I say this, and I quote, Bitcoin and NFTs are both BS digital products. Just saying. Random player says if I could marry Bitcoin, I would. That's disturbing. Random player says I'll never bet against BTC. Why not? Like I said, you need to protect your downside. You can't just assume. I think it's just stupid to assume that Bitcoin's going to keep going up and up forever when there's no proof that there's any intrinsic value to begin with. There's nothing there. It doesn't do anything in the real world. The market, the Bitcoin markets, the crypto markets may say it's going up. That's fine. But people are buying and holding something that is worthless. And in fact, Bitcoin could be considered more of a digital collectible than a digital currency. And that's even worse. Because what happens with collectibles is eventually people buy the collectible, hope that somebody's going to buy the collectible at some other price higher than what they purchased it. And this is greater fool theory. In fact, collectible trading is kind of an aspect of greater fool theory in a lot of ways. And since Bitcoin's a digital collectible, Bitcoin participates in greater fool theory without a doubt, 100%. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and like the stream. We need more likes on the stream. The more likes we get, the better. I just greatly appreciate anybody who's watching right now, and you guys are incredible. Nofo says, I'm in New Zealand. I've got my money in term deposits. It's getting me sweet Farco. Nightbot says regular chat equals background convo. Super chats equals guaranteed response plus on-screen shout-outs. So we want to give the on-screen shout-outs. Random player says it doesn't matter if it goes up or down. What I mine is what I mine. I always sell what I mine, and I live a life of not working. Like I said, though, what happens when Bitcoin gets to a price per Bitcoin to where mining is no longer profitable? And it could happen, by the way. What happens is the crypto, I swear to God, I make money swing trading the S-bit because Bitcoin has such violent dips. And it's so easy to make money off of Bitcoin's violent dips. Also, Bitcoin is just stupid. I just don't understand why people even remotely believe in it. Oh man, Bitcoin's dipping even harder. Hey, how far do you guys think that Bitcoin's going to go down? Do you got any predictions? Damn, 30, dude. Man, I am making some dough today, dude. And the S&P 500 is going down even further. All right. I'll buy into that. Yeah, it's looking like Bitcoin is moving in the direction that the S&P is. Damn. Damn. I'm convinced. Look at those pants. Damn. Don't make sense. But yeah, man, like betting against Bitcoin is a very profitable venture at this point. How low can Bitcoin go? That is the question. Now, the S&P 500 is dropping quite a bit. S&P 500 is down 0. Oh, wow. Even further. Get it, dude. This is just a buying opportunity. I love buying the S&P on the dip. I will always buy the S&P on the dip, brothers. Always buying. So I have been swing trading, admittedly, the Schwab US large cap one. That's one thing I've been swing trading a little bit. S-Bit, baby. Crypto markets are just going down. Look at that, dude. Holy crap. Nobody believes in the BTC. No, I don't. Are we witnessing the everything crash? That's the question. But yeah, as long as I rack up on the SCHX, here's the thing, man. I love swing trading ETFs that are large cap because, one, they're just safer. I mean, I could kind of swing trade the Russell 2000, even though it's like basically a small cap index, but it's interesting. So Dustin says crypto's value is that it's not controlled by any government. To be honest, that's the problem. Is it's private money. Private money is garbage at the end of the day, Dustin. Crypto is not valuable. Look at the problem is there's always going to be infinite levels of competition. There's always some sort of new coin or new token that keeps coming out that competes against the original Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has not evolved. Here's the thing. There are crypto projects, even though I think crypto's still grifto no matter what happens. There are crypto projects out there that are far more innovative than Bitcoin. So, and I still think Bitcoin's stupid, by the way. I'm not aligned with Michael Saylor. I think that Bitcoin is a grift. I think it's one of the biggest grifts of all time, and I don't appreciate it. I just think it's bad for society. I don't think it's a wealth builder. I don't think you should hold on to it forever. I think it's probably one of the worst things that you could hold on to. Straight up. But people want to believe it's basically people try to convince themselves that a lie is the truth. And the biggest lie that people tell on the internet is that Bitcoin's worth something. It's not worth anything. I'm trying to tell you that all crypto is grifto. It's all grift. It's used by grifters, and it's just the biggest grift of all time. And it's sad that people fall for the scheme. I don't like it, man. It's garbage. Anyway, chat, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Bitcoin's the future? Do you guys think that Bitcoin's a digital Ponzi scheme that people have tried to convince everybody that it's worth something when it's not? It's just garbage. Because, like, really, I do believe within my heart of hearts. Like, I'm not even lying. I love betting against Bitcoin. I'm fully transparent about it, and I'm betting against it right now as I'm talking to you guys. But look, Bitcoin is dumb. It's pointless. But you know, people love Bitcoin for some reason, and I just don't get it. I just, for the life of me, cannot understand. I just can't even get behind it. It just makes zero sense to me why anybody would be for it. But yeah, altcoins are going down. Bitcoin's going down. I mean, dude, this is great. And I'm not going to lie. It's something that I really enjoy seeing. I really enjoy, because here's the thing, it's well-deserved. Why should, and I quote, I say this with truth behind what I'm saying. I sincerely believe that Bitcoin is phony, get this, baloney, dildo money. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I do believe it's garbage. I really do. Random player asks, how much do you make per month on anti-BTC? It depends on the month. It depends on the week, actually. So if Bitcoin if Bitcoin's on a bull run, I tend to definitely, I trickle buy into the SBIT. And then when Bitcoin starts dipping like it is today, then that's when I make the big bucks. So today I'm actually making a good amount of money. Now I also do swing trade. I swing trade the SCHX, which is a Schwab, and it's not an endorsement of the product or anything. It's just what I swing trade. I'm being honest, not financial advice. Talk to a financial advisor, but like that's what I do. I bet against Bitcoin because I just don't believe in it at all, and I just think it participates in greater fool theory. I think it's a net negative to society. I really do. I just don't think there's anything that great about it. For the life of me, I still don't understand why people worship Bitcoin, But yeah, I mean, there's going to be people who start thinking that this is a good time to buy, but look at this. Bitcoin for the day is down 2.28%. Now, it's going to probably rise a little bit. That always tends to happen, but look at Bitcoin it's a net negative to society. It's bad. I think it's terrible. Nofo says I want to quit my job and do Bitcoin. I want to play video games all day too. Yeah, I do enjoy betting against Bitcoin though, for sure. It's something that I really have fun doing. Nofo says I have to go to work in 30 minutes. For fuck's sakes, lol. Yeah, I bet. Buy a miner and plug it into Nofo. No, I'm good. No. Plug it in Nofo. Look it. Bitcoin mining, it's going to be unprofitable because what happens is this: Bitcoin tends to go into massive bear markets. I've just noticed this is a pattern. All right, it's a huge pattern. Hold on. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that, I'd like to believe we're all in agreement, but I know we're not. I know there's a lot of pro-Bitcoiners in here, and look, Nofo says I'm 100% going to have a look. Like I said, I have money in terms of deposits, which makes me next to nothing. Okay. Lee Abbey says bear market for alts. I don't know. I mean, look, altcoins, all crypto's grifto, and you should expect a bear market no matter what for altcoins, always, because it's all phony baloney dildo money. Like, this is real. Evil Tim Smith says this is financial advice. No, it's not. It's not financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only, educational purposes. Look, I have my own opinions on things, and I really do enjoy betting against Bitcoin, though, because I do firmly believe I'm transparent with you guys. If I wasn't transparent, I wouldn't even tell you guys that I love the SBIT. I do love the SBIT, by the way. I think it's a very good product. Not an endorsement. I just swing trade it to make money. It's a good way for me to make some extra cash. But yeah, Bitcoin is worthless at the end of the day. And the S-bit is up 8.04%. Hell yeah. Man. Nothing better than the S-bit, baby. Woo. So I'm trickle buying into the SCHX because I love buying these types of ETFs on the dip. And it's how I roll, man. It's a good product. It's a very safe product too. If I'm going to swing trade anything, I want to swing trade a very safe product. I think that's the smartest thing I could do. But yeah, you guys, we might be looking at a crypto bear market. Thank goodness. So what's the old saying on the show? Crypto is what? It's crypto. Yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of swing trading. Hold on. Random player says, say how much you make on average per month. Don't beat around the bush. I don't even know what the averages are. All I know is when I profit, I profit. So when I do profit, it's usually in the hundreds of dollars. $200, $300, that sort of thing. And it's usually like kind of like a bi-weekly thing. So it does fluctuate quite a bit. But I do like betting into things that like the Schwab US Large Cap ETF. I like swing trading these types of indices because they have a lot of good companies in them, you know. So swing trading an S&P 500 product for cash isn't too bad for me, at least. It's, you know, take that under, you know, talk to a financial advisor, obviously. But I love swing trading the SCHX, man. And I love swing trading the S-bit. Make sure you guys subscribe and like the channel. Send us a super chat if you can. If not, no big deal. At least hit the subscribe button. The more subscribers we have, the better. We're really always trying to up the subscriber count on this channel for sure. But I appreciate everybody who's watching right now. It means a lot to me. We're always trying to engage with the audience and really talk to you guys. Evil Tim Smith says subscribe. No, we're not a financial advising show. We don't advise on finance. Look, we talk about it, but I always say talk to a financial advisor because I'm not one. This is not financial advice. This is just me giving my personal opinion. I believe that Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. I think the entire crypto market is a big, giant pump and dump Ponzi. It's a decentralized Ponzi scheme. And if you can't see that, I'm sorry. Let's see. I think it's terrible too, but at the end of the day, it's going somewhere regardless of us little guys. No, here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is Bitcoin is being propped up by the little guys, the gamblers, the degenerates. And eventually the degenerates have to pay their bills. All right? And when that happens, they sell off. By the way, people are going to need extra money. Retail, dude, the majority of Bitcoin holders are retail investors, right? So retail investors don't have diamond hands in reality. They don't. They say they do. They say they care about Bitcoin and they love it, but they're going to sell it off. And when those massive sell-offs happen, that's where I make the money. And they always tend to happen. Because Bitcoin is what again? It's Clitcoin. Bitcoin is Clitcoin. Something we talk about all the time on this channel. It basically, Bitcoin is for people that don't know what sound money actually is at the end of the day. If you believe that Bitcoin is sound money, I mean, it's sad that you think that. Evil Tim Smith, we don't give financial advice. Sorry. Tony Kaiser. Yeah, it is a Ponzi scheme, Tony. Emperor Palpatine died for our sins? Okay. Evil Tim Smith, no, Bitcoin is not based. Bitcoin is a decentralized Ponzi scheme. And look, I love Donald Trump, but just because Donald Trump likes Bitcoin doesn't mean I'm going to like it either. Look, Bitcoin is Clickcoin. It's a Ponzi, all right? Tony said we're on the right here. We're not on the left. Imperial, we're on the right. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, Tony. Evil Tim Smith says, "Hey, I need financial advice." Well, talk to a financial advisor, Tim. Evil Tim Smith, who is the bizarro Tim Smith, basically. Talk to a financial advisor, all right? I want the non-evil Tim Smith, please. This is, by the way, this is Mirror Universe Tim Smith, it looks like. Thank you, Nightbot. Nightbot says, new here. Tap the dollar for a super chat. Skip the line. I'll read yours first. Bitcoin still is absolutely. Tony Kaiser says, Nightbot. Yep, Nightbot's pretty tight, dude. I love Nightbot, man. Nightbot's the tits. I got a rotating message that displays every 10 minutes, which is pretty dope. David Johnson saying it's not left versus right, it's the haves versus the have-nots. Well, the problem is the reason that, first off, the have-nots tend to be gamblers. They tend to get into drugs. The haves, and I'll admit I'm one of the haves because I delay my gratification. I live by the art of delayed gratification. I don't believe in instant gratification. In fact, I believe instant gratification kills you for the most part. Yeah. Tony Kaiser says left kids on the left because they don't know any better. That's what I'm talking about. Kids on the left. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. MN Trout Slayer says this is what happens when you invest in a scam. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And Bitcoin is, once again, as I always say, Bitcoin is what? It's Clickcoin. It's Ponzi money, dude. It's all a Ponzi scheme. And I'm proud to bet against Bitcoin. I'm proud of it. I love the fact that I bet against Bitcoin because I really do believe it is a net negative to society. I don't believe there's anything good that has come out of Bitcoin. Nothing. I'm not exaggerating either. I really think that Bitcoin is foolish. I don't believe it's sound money. Anybody who says it's sound money just blows my mind, man. It's just not. Anyway. Yeah. It's a scam, man. Bitcoin is a total scam. Without a doubt. It's Ponzi money, man. Let's put up a poll, actually. So we got a poll going. Is Bitcoin phony, baloney, Ponzi money? I believe it is. We got one vote saying yes. Okay, we're getting a little mixed results here. So the question is Bitcoin phony, baloney, Ponzi money? Okay. So Tony Kaiser says kids are trolls. They don't know about politics, but don't troll. They're trolling you. Okay. I don't know what you're saying, Tony. Kids are trolls is what it looks like you're saying. John says, hi, what up, John? Yeah, aquarium hobbyist. How am I doing, dude? I'm doing pretty good. I got the haircut. I feel fresher. The more my hair is cut, the fresher I feel, man. Evil Sim Smith says this is the best show for... Oh, no, it's not. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Evil Tim Smith, come on, brother. I'm also wondering, is Evil Tim Smith's alt account? I don't think it is, but that would be pretty funny if Evil Tim Smith happened to be his alt account. Okay. But yeah, no, I'm feeling great with the fresh haircut, man. It's good. It's keeping me good. Evil Tim Smith, there is no advice. I don't give financial advice. It's just not how I roll. But thank you for the Vine, Tim Smith. Evil Tim Smith, fake Tim Smith is on the chat. But the question is here's the thing. We've never seen Evil Tim Smith and Tim Smith in the same chat. Could this be Tim Smith's alt account? I'm Chris Hansen, Dateline NBC. We have a story. No, just kidding. But no, Evil Tim Smith, you have a good one. I want the real Tim Smith, man. I want the real one. You know? Is that so much to ask, man? I just want the real Tim Smith. I just want the real thing. All right, so 7 votes are in. Is Bitcoin phony, baloney, Ponzi money? 71% of you say yes. 29% of you say no. This is an interesting poll we got going. A lot of pole dancers in the house. What are we doing? What are we saying? What are we doing? And look, we all know, I think we all know at the end of the day that it's BS. All right, so subscribe and like. We always say that, but is Bitcoin phony, baloney, Ponzi money? 71% of the chat so far says yes, and 29% says no. It's looking phony, baloney. We always say that, but is Bitcoin phony, baloney, Ponzi money? 71% of the chat so far. All right, we got 9 votes in. 67% of you say yes, it's phony, fake. 33% say no. I have some faith in the chat for once. Lately, I've had a lack of faith. But David Johnson says Fox News is reporting that Trump's new crypto coin is currently valued at $5 billion. So you're saying that, okay, the market cap. I hate crypto of any kind. I love Donald Trump. I think he's the man. But, man, he's got to just distance himself from crypto, man, because crypto's grifto. As much as I also love Charlie Kirk. He was a crypto fanatic, and I don't think crypto is sound money. I don't think Bitcoin's sound money. I don't think any cryptocurrency is really good for society. I think it's a net negative. It's not backed by anything of value. It's just gambling. It is glorified gambling at this point. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. But, to each their own, man. To each their own. What are we doing here? Nightbot with the Vine, dude. Hell yeah. Boom. But yeah, I want to talk about SBIT for a little bit. I want to give you guys a little more insight on SBIT. It's basically a way to bet against Bitcoin. So in plain English, here's what SBIT really is. The SBIT it equals ProShares Ultra Short Bitcoin ETF. It's designed to deliver minus 2x the daily move of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin falls 5% in a day, SBIT aims to rise 10% that day, before fees and expenses, of course. If Bitcoin rises 5% in a day, SBIT aims to fall 10% in a day. It gets that exposure using swaps. Basically, it's not holding spot Bitcoin directly, is really what it boils. That's what a swap is. The fund's documentation and brokers summarize it as tracking minus 2x the daily performance of a Bitcoin price index via derivatives. And I love that, by the way. The volatility is beautiful. Man, when Bitcoin crashes, man, SBIT goes crazy. In a good way. Of course, when Bitcoin goes on a bull run, SBIT goes crazy too, and I buy the SBIT on the dip because I don't believe in Bitcoin. I believe the bull runs end up turning into bear markets very quickly. Expense ratio is 0.95% annually. It's a pretty high expense ratio, but since I'm in and out very quickly of SBIT, I'm constantly going in, going out, going in, going out, so I am making enough profit to where that expense ratio doesn't really matter in the end, because like I said, I'm very much in and out of it. I'm buying the dip and then selling the rise of the SBIT itself. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of the SBIT. I think being able to bet against Bitcoin is like a huge, huge advantage. And, if you don't see it as an advantage, that's, your loss. But, betting against a Ponzi scheme is not something you always get the chance to do. You know what I mean? And it's fun. So what does the SBIT typically hold? So it holds mostly cash, US T-bills plus swap contracts that create the inverse exposure. The listing under the New York Stock Exchange ticker is SBIT. S is in Sierra, B-I-T. So the real advantage of SBIT goes like this. Why would somebody want to use SBIT, right? Direct, bearish, or hedging exposure without having to use margin, right? This is the best part about this fund that I love, is I could bet against Bitcoin without any real risk to me. There's not that much risk to me at all, in my opinion, the way I do this. And give me a second. David says the Trump boys have signed a deal for a Trump resort in Vietnam for $1.5 billion. Would you consider that corruption? I mean, that's what is that what Trump's sons are doing? That's on them. They may be the president's sons, but honestly, I think that Bitcoin's a grift, and they're grifting for sure. But hey, I think anybody who's dumb enough to put their money into crypto deserves to lose it all. Seriously. If you trade your money away for cryptocurrency, something that has no intrinsic value and has not proven itself to have intrinsic value, can't even measure its value without looking at the market. My problem with Bitcoin and all crypto is everybody says, look at how much it's gone up. Look at the market value. It's like, dude, okay, Bitcoin's gone up in market value, but what is its intrinsic value? What makes it valuable? And all you can really gather at the end of the day that Bitcoin is, it's basically private money, decentralized. It's a digital string of data, so it's not really money at all. And at the end of the day, it's not backed by anything of real value. There's no gold backing it. There's no silver. It's just software that's open source that people copy, by the way. And then when people copy it, they make their own competition to Bitcoin by creating these altcoins. And then people are scattering all over the place. It's a chaotic mess. Look, the crypto landscape is basically the wild, wild west. And it is grifter paradise, man. It is grifter paradise. It's a place where pump and dump schemes are basically legal. Essentially, it's a legal pump and dumps all over the place. But yeah, you could say I'm real lost. That's fine. You know, do what you want to do. But I'm probably as mentally sound as it goes with all this. Real Garza is real lost. Absolutely. You know, say what you want, brother. You better give me a super chat so I can find my way. Let's see. By the way, while I've been live streaming, I've been making money. I've been making money swing trading, shockingly. And let's see. do. But yeah, I'm super happy to admit that Bitcoin is a scam. And I think most people, if they're honest with themselves, could at least come to the same conclusion that I come to with it. But no, I think there's a lot of dishonesty out there in the world when it comes to the world of Bitcoin. I just think that nobody's honest about how much of a Ponzi scheme Bitcoin actually is. And if people were honest, which, when will that ever happen? I don't know. You know, I'm not sure when that would happen. But we'll see. I mean, the world could eventually figure out that, I don't know what it will take for the world to realize that Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. But at the end of the day, people gotta have some sort of inkling and understanding about Bitcoin being Ponzi money. You know? Is Bitcoin phony baloney Ponzi money? 73% of you say yes, 27% of you say no. Interesting. What a poll, what a poll. But yeah, it's just sad. I just think people, there's just a lack of honesty, and I do believe that there's a grifter problem for sure in the Bitcoin space, without a doubt. For sure. Give me a few more seconds, folks. Sorry about that. cashing out on a few of my bond ETFs just to have a little bit of liquidity. So because I am going to be primarily swing trading the SCHX, I'm actually getting a little bit of liquidity going. But yeah, being able to swing trade a product like the SCHX, I think, is a good thing. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is exciting stuff, man. Random player is... I don't know what that face is. But we'll end the poll. 73% of you say it's yes for phony baloney dildo money. 27% of you say no. Let's end the poll. Heck yeah. So how wrong or right am I about Bitcoin? Do you guys think that the market's going to keep going down? You think the free fall is going to continue to happen? That Bitcoin might go down 3%, 4%? You think there's going to be... I think here's the problem, man. So many of these crypto brokerages have failed because what they're holding onto is BS. Look, when you hear crypto, you should think BS in your mind. You really should. Anyway, let me continue to explain. So here are the real advantages of SBIT and why I like to use it, at least. This is not financial advice, just as a heads up. So direct bearish or hedging exposure without margin. You can express a short Bitcoin view. Hold on. One more moment. One momento. Give me a second, you guys. So you can express a short Bitcoin view or hedge existing BTC exposure. In a standard brokerage or IRA 401k that allows ETFs, no crypto exchange, no borrowing sales, no futures accounts. Boom. It's easy. I don't have to do anything. I mean, the system is already in place within the exchange traded fund to capitalize on the downfall of Bitcoin. It's beautiful. There is capital efficiency. Because it is minus 2x daily, you can size smaller versus a minus 1x fund to target the same hedge, leaving more cash free for other positions. So, example would be like hedging 10K of BTC exposure with roughly 5K of SBIT versus 10K of a minus 1x ETF, that sort of thing. There's also operational simplicity. Regular ETF settlement like 1099 tax reporting, there's no K1, and the ability to trade during market hours with limit orders, stops, etc. Also, you can trade the SBIT in the after hours market. This is something that I don't think is talked about enough. I put limit orders for this. And yeah, a lot of people selling their positions right now in Bitcoin for sure. But yeah, it's definitely, it's one of those things, man, you just can't trust it. Just can't trust it, brothers. Evil Tim Smith says, rat beef. Rat beef, my man. I don't know why I'm saluting that. I shouldn't salute that at all. Evil Tim Smith, I don't know if you're on the right track or the wrong track, brother. What the hell? That's what Evil Tim Smith is into, I guess. All right, Bitcoin is climbing back up a little bit. I'm glad I sold some SBIT at a profit. Like I said, I love swing trading the SBIT, so it is something that gets me a little bit sprung, surprisingly. Well, the chat is a little dead right now. That's okay. Chat needs to come alive, man. What's going on here? What are you doing here? I'm Chris Hansen, Dateline NBC. Pimp, pimp, hooray! Kimoy. What up, Kimoy Chapman, dude? The real pimp. Right now, the real pimp is in the house. What up, my boy? We're getting more people coming in, dude. Silly Jinx is in the house, dude. We got the crew coming in. We got the Mussy crew. We're all the Mussy boys. We're the Mussy boys, yeah. So we got Silly Jinx in the house. What up, dude? We got Kimoy Chapman, my brony brother here. Pimp, pimp. Pimp, pimp, hooray, yeah. What's happening? Nothing much, dude. We're watching the Bitcoin markets crash, as they should. Bitcoin markets in free fall, as they should be. You know, look, Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. We all know it. We all know Bitcoin is stupid, right? Oh no. Random player is giving Jinx that look. We don't like that look. We don't know what that look is all about. Well, we know what it's all about. It's definitely not a good one. It's a little disturbing. We accept you for who you are, random player. We know what you're all about. Oh no. Silly Jinx, you gotta run and hide, it looks like, man. Gotta run and hide. Just random player, look at that look. Is giving you that look, Silly Jinx. Better get out fast, bro. Gotta get out fast. But it's good to see everybody in the chat, though. Huge shout out to everybody who's been so damn supportive, man. I want to thank everybody who's given super chats in the last few days. You guys have been incredible. I've been getting more super chats than I would have ever expected, which is crazy. That is still pretty wild to me. Let's see. Yeah. I had to reduce the opacity of that real quick, just getting a few things squared away. Give me 1 second. I gotta see how that looks on the screen. Silly Jinx is responding to random player. Don't tie. Oh. You know, the chat's getting a little too kinky for me. People are doing some kinky stuff on the chat. I don't know how I feel about that. It's getting weird. Yeah, Evil Tim Smith is in the house today. We don't know what Evil Tim Smith's motives are, but we can at least conclude my man is up to no good. Now, we love regular Tim Smith. We're afraid of Evil Tim Smith, though. We don't know what he's capable of. Again, you know, oh, whoa. Random player's getting freaky in the chat, dude. Random player might be into the BDSM lifestyle. Not only is Random Player apparently into Bitcoin, but may allegedly be into BDSM based on the interactions with Silly Jinx in the chat. Oh, man. Yeah, it's always kinky in here, Kimoy. It's always very... The chat gets a little too kinky for me, and I lose control of the chat, but I have fun with it. Silly Jinx is scared right now. Kimoy says you've allowed it. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I like allowing the chat to go a little crazy. Random Player says if me and Jinx were in prison, he would... Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's creepy, man. It's getting weird, man. Silly Jinx is ... Most Toast says, are you ready to apologize, Michael? Yeah, I think so. Most Toast, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're... I'm sorry that you gaslight so much. I'm sorry that I take it so much. Silly Jinx is scared, obviously, of what's happening. Kimoy says free speech. Yeah, I don't like to, you know, even though there's a lot of creeps in the chat, you know, I like to let them creep, you know. Oh, Jesus. The hell? Yeah. Kimoy, yeah. Nightbot said, yeah. Regular chat equals background convo, but super chats have a guaranteed response and an on-screen shout-out. Jinx is fainted. Yeah, I don't know. The chat has lost its collective mind. Most Toast says, well, that was the kettle calling the pot. Okay. I don't even know where we're going at this point with the show. Show has lost the plot. The question is, Star X Tar says, should we buy the dip? I don't know, man. Star, I think that the thing for me is, I think that if you buy Bitcoin on the dip, I think Bitcoin's worthless at the end of the day. I really do. I think that Bitcoin is Clickcoin. But, I mean, if you want to buy the dip, that's up to you, brother. I think, like I said, Bitcoin is stupid. So if you want to buy the dip on something really dumb, that is your call at the end of the day. Most Toast is asking, can we please just switch the way your fridge doors open? No, my brony brother. No. Let's see. Star XR says, I'm currently holding XRP. I'm in a 2,300 loss. Wow, dude. Whoa. It's a huge loss, brother. I mean, look at anytime you hold on to any sort of crypto, what is the motto of this show? Crypto is grifto. It's phony baloney dildo money. All of it. Bitcoin's phony baloney dildo money. XRP's phony baloney dildo money. It's all bad. It's all bad for you, man, at the end of the day. Let's see. It'll take 3 minutes. Okay. I'm good. I'm keeping my refrigerator just the way it is, my brony brother. Silly Jinx is saying, oh. It's getting weird in the chat, you guys. I've lost the chat again. I always seem to lose the chat. It doesn't matter what I do. Doesn't matter what I say. I lose the chat. Dude, I did not buy multiple Bitcoins. Dude, you're most toast. Stop gaslighting me, bro. Stop with the gaslighting. No gaslighting. Gaslighter, stop gaslighting, okay? I did not buy multiple Bitcoins at 10K, all right? I bought like a certain amount of money. I put a certain amount of money down when it was at the about that cost at one point. I keep my Bitcoin pretty hidden, all right? I'm never selling it. Even I don't believe in Bitcoin, but I'm never selling it, right? I bet against it. I'm able to profit using the SBIT because I don't believe in Bitcoin at all. And if I ever want to, if it ever went to $1 million per coin, sure. I would sell my Bitcoin holdings. Why not? Silly Jinx says, you always lose the chat once me and Random join. Yeah, I always do. All right, here we go. Teamoy says, chat belongs to us. We allow you here, Garza. Pretty good. Let's see. No so says, dude, you do say that to me, and then I called you out. You got mad, and that's why. Ooh. Most toast, we were never friends. We were never friends, bro. Most toast is saying Michael is a victim of his life. Chat is no different. It's a micro of the macro. Silly Jinx says, I thought you were going to piss in the fridge for a minute. I got scared AF. Absolutely. Random player says I have 0.22 BTC. All right. Mosto says he lost control of the chat like he lost his eyebrows. Silly Jinx is like, damn, dude. I never seen this man eat actual food. Yeah, I don't always. Here's the thing. I don't always. When I'm eating, a lot of it is off camera. But there are times during a live chat where I'm like, I'm kind of hungry. I should probably eat something. Some food. I do want to thank everybody who stopped in so far on this particular episode. I will say that once my girlfriend gets here for lunch, that's when I'll probably end this particular episode. But yeah, I just want to say that there are several disadvantages to having Bitcoin, right? And let's go over the advantages of SBIT, though. Check this out. There is operational simplicity. Regular ETF settlement, it's good, right? It's a tactical tool for short windows, by the way. So if you expect a near-term drop, like a Fed event, negative headline, risk-off, daily minus 2x can magnify the downside capture of Bitcoin into the upside for SBIT for that window. One of the things I do want to educate you on, it's a daily minus 2x target, not a long-term opposite Bitcoin product. Over multi-day periods, compounding and rebalancing can cause path-dependent results, often called volatility decay. Choppy up and down markets can erode returns even if Bitcoin ends flat. This is why leveraged inverse ETFs are generally short-term trading hedging tools, not a buy and hold, which is one of the reasons why I'm constantly swing trading the SBIT. Because I do believe that Bitcoin is BS. There's also tracking and volatility. Leveraged inverse funds are more volatile. SBIT's realized volume has been notably higher than minus 1x alternatives. Example like the BITI, the BITI, underscoring the handle with care overall. You got to handle with care. Performance reality check. Look, if Bitcoin trends up, SBIT will trend down fast. Third-party trackers showed deep drawdowns for SBIT in periods when BTC rallied, reinforcing that it's a tactical bear and hedge product. Look, I trickle buy into the SBIT. I don't put everything in at once. I think that's stupid. I can't predict the future, but playing the ups and downs, playing the temporary volatility is pretty fun to me. And it's been quite the moneymaker. Shockingly. But yeah, SBIT's pretty cool. I'm not showing you my fridge. Let's see what you got in there. I'm not sure. If somebody gives me a super chat, obviously I'll show you guys the fridge. I'll show you as much as I can. I mean, the camera's just sitting there. This chat is awesome as crap. Yeah, dude, it's the Wild Wild West. Like Cribs. Random player says I'd like to see the inside of the fridge too. Oh my god. She's from Canada. Let's see. Silly Jinx says I've been in all of your streams, dude. Heck yeah. No, Silly Jinx has been back and forth on the streams, and I appreciate you coming in, man. I appreciate everybody who participates in the chat, man. Even if you're not a subscriber. Just the participation level's been beautiful. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it big time. Subscribe and like, baby. Oh, yeah. Most Toast says she's not on social media. She doesn't like YouTube. Okay. Yeah. We're ready to roll, man. This is good. Kicking butt. Battle tested, brothers. Oh yeah. Everybody wants a fridge tour. I don't know what the obsession is with my fridge. Why do you guys always want to know what's in my fridge? So quick couple things. There is cost and liquidity to the SBIT as well. So the 0.95% expense ratio is standard for this particular niche, but it's still higher than plain vanilla ETFs. Also, check bid-ask spreads in average volume before placing market orders. That does matter. SBIT versus the BIDI. This is a quick teachable comparison here. So the BIDI equals minus 1x daily Bitcoin, whereas the SBIT is minus 2x the daily of Bitcoin. They both their goal is the same thing, but their quantity is different. Like I said, BIDI is minus 1x, SBIT is minus 2x of the daily of Bitcoin. SBIT gives more inverse per dollar, useful for smaller hedges, but also carries more path dependency risk and higher volatility. Now, I personally love the volatility, and I love betting against something that is ridiculous, and I do believe that Bitcoin is ridiculous. Now, for longer hedges or lower risk, some investors may choose the minus 1x instead. For short, conviction bearish windows, minus 2 can be more powerful. Now, here's the thing. I have a stash of cash in my brokerage account that I like to use. I tend to trickle buy when the SBIT goes down. It's got to go down significantly for me to trickle buy into it again. I trickle sell the SBIT as well. My main thing is I really do enjoy swing trading the SDHX. It's, you don't get a lot of swings of volatility, but, during a bear market, man, buying an S&P 500 style ETF is pretty good. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal to me, at least. Let's see. Silly Jinx, I appreciate your subscribership, brother. Matt P wants a fridge tour. Sam says, nice suntan today, my friend Michael Gomez. Your fridge always has burritos. Hey, I love my burritos, man. I do love burritos. They're good. I think you might be. I've lost the chat. Oh, no. The King of Memes says no. Random player is, oh, God. It's getting real. I swear to Christ, it gets real freaky in the chat, man. It gets real freaky in the chat. But, so we're about ready to end the stream here in a little bit. Any final call super chats? One moment. We are definitely trying to expand the subscriber base, so the more subscribers we get, the better. One thing I do got to configure real quick before I go, while we're waiting for super chats to come in, I do got to configure my Nightbot on here. So I'm a huge fan of Nightbot. I think it's one of the coolest things in the world. And let's see. The first one. Yeah, I got to configure just a couple pieces of the coding on it. Some of the messages I got to configure too, just a little bit, but yeah, really cool. Trying to make sure that each of these messages ends with like a please subscribe sort of thing. Shout out, here we go. I think this is good. Okay, so I think we got everything here. Upgrade, show advanced stats. Count 34. There we go. So I updated the coding on there. So we got the timers. Coding is updated. Very cool. All right, final call. Any super chats before we end the stream? You're going to lead us off here. Any anti-Bitcoin rants, anything at all? Do you guys think the market deserves to crash? I think anytime the Bitcoin market crashes, dude, I'm just like, boom. I get pretty sprung, man. And, you know, I'm just kind of a unique kind of guy. I'm a very unique person when it comes to that, man. I don't know why I get off to the market crashing so much, but I do. I just, you know, it's not, I don't hate the stock market by any means. I hate the crypto markets. I can't stand the crypto markets. But one thing I can say is, you know, I love the stock market because there's actually real companies that I can buy into the stock market, and that matters. Real companies matter, man. Now, the question is, are we going into an infinite bull run? And that is the question. Are infinite bull runs within the future? I don't know. To me personally, I think that, you know, when a bull run of any kind does happen, it gets pretty wild. So really quick, we're downloading one of the, I'm going to be creating some short videos today. Give me a few seconds, folks. Just checking a couple things. But final call, man. Final call for a super chat. Anybody? We all know you wanna. We all know you gotta. Look, I mean, I think the crypto markets deserve to crash. I really do. In summary, man, I think the SBIT, I personally love the SBIT because I do own Bitcoin. I got into Bitcoin very early, and I still don't believe in it. I still believe that Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme and deserves to crash. Silly Jinx says, my YouTube break is almost over. I'm posting on Monday, so get ready. Bye, dudes. Hey, you got to have your hiatus, man. Everybody's got to have a hiatus from time to time, brother. I get that. Absolutely get that, 100%. But make sure anybody who hasn't subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers we have, the better. It expands the reach of the audience, and that is really the goal. I love expanding to newer audiences and really reaching out to people. It's fun. But does anybody have any additional commentary, though? By the way, super chats keep this thing going, so if you guys want to super chat it up, you go for it. The King of Memes says, tell me a joke. I don't know. I got nothing. Mohammed says, Shalem. Yes. But here's like I said, we're going to go back to the example we did earlier. So if Bitcoin drops 4% today, SBIT's target is roughly 8%, which is wild, crazy. And then tomorrow it resets again to target minus 2x of tomorrow's move. So, BTC, if BTC chops 5%, minus 5%, plus 5% over several days, SBIT won't have a clean minus 2x of the total change because it's recalibrated daily. That compounding can help or hurt depending on the path. Now, I firmly believe that ultimately Bitcoin is on the path of destruction, and it's volatile, and it's fun to swing trade the volatility for sure. But at the end of the day, man, I just think that I don't have all my money in SBIT. That would just be crazy. But I do have a good chunk that makes me a good amount of money. And because of Bitcoin's volatility, and because Bitcoin honestly is a bubble, the bubble's close to bursting, man. There's a lot more bag holders than people realize. What up, G-Dog? Can you wrap something with the word Salem? I don't know. I don't feel like rapping, man. I ain't rapping. I ain't rapping, I ain't crapping, I don't know why. Everybody thinks I'm that kind of guy. Hell no. Hold on, I gotta do something real quick. By the way, I gotta also do a quick upload real quick. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. The more simps we have, the better. Keep on simping, baby. Woo. Let's go. Window. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, hold on, I forgot to do something. All right, let's keep going. So yeah, overall, I mean, the one big thing for me personally is look, I think that Bitcoin at the end of the day deserves to go down to zero. The entire crypto market, if anything, deserves to crash. And you really can't convince me otherwise. I just don't understand why anybody would be for something that has no intrinsic value. I mean, it really is the personification of greater fool theory. If you think about it, people are purposely getting in because they think that if they get in at the opportune moment, they might be able to make a little bit of money off this thing. And that's the trick of the whole Ponzi scheme itself, is that people are just getting in for the sole purpose that they think they're going to make a quick buck. And granted, sometimes they do. But lots of times they don't. That's the thing. So it's got to be one of those things where people, I hope people understand. But it's possible that people don't, man. It's very possible that people just don't get it. And, you know, it's tough. How do you tell somebody that Bitcoin has no intrinsic value? I mean, a lot of these Bitcoin bros are... It's crazy. It is greater fool theory personified. It's just there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, what value does Bitcoin have? It's private money. That's already a downfall. Private money is not a good idea. It's been tried before. It's failed many times. Just because it's decentralized doesn't mean it has an advantage. I mean, people have to really be on board with this. And the problem is, people who have an understanding of finance realize that this isn't a real asset vessel. It's just not. It's a liability vessel, if anything. I don't know, man. This is crazy. Let's take a look. But yeah, crypto market's in free fall, man. I mean, that's the way it should be. I mean, when something like that, which I believe firmly is a Ponzi scheme it's the Ponzi scheme, it's the king Ponzi scheme, man. It really is. I just don't believe in it at all. And it's just, it's phony and it's baloney, man. It's phony, baloney, dildo money. I mean, well, what else can you say? You know, I do like to use limit orders when I use the SBIT, though, because it does give me a control entry and exit because it spreads can widen during volatility. So yeah, I do a lot of limit sells when I sell the SBIT for sure, because I may not be always available. I do like to set my limit sales for the day. When it comes to when I buy it, I kind of just buy it whenever I check the market. But when I sell it, though, I do like to set my limit sales for the day on it. Because if it goes up and I'm not aware of it, like if the SBIT goes up like temporarily for a bit on the day, yeah, having a limit sell can be very advantageous in a lot of ways. But yeah, and by the way, there's always a danger when using leveraged products. It's not always like a guarantee. You know, you're not guaranteed results on any of this. Like, that's the truth. And hopefully people can realize that aspect of it, that you're just not guaranteed any specific results. And that matters. You know, you're just not guaranteed a result. Let's see what else we got here. Thank you guys for tuning in, though. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I am seeing a bear market on the horizon. But the crypto market's in free fall, man. I mean, we could check the latest data. I mean, any time we check short-term data, one thing I love about the crypto market crashes is how violent they can be. In this instance, Bitcoin's pretty down for the day. It deserves to be. And yeah, I will say I definitely love the Schwab US large cap ETF. It's fun to swing trade this one, man. It's got a really low price. I can't speak today. It's got a really low price entry, so when you get in, you're not spending an arm and a leg per share. It makes it very easy to trickle buy and trickle sell. The goal is to get some sort of profits every day on it, or at least every week. Weekly profits are always a good thing. So when the S&P 500 goes on a bull run, it could be a real advantage. But like today, with the SBIT going up like crazy, I mean, I was able to really capitalize on that big time. But the thing is, I think Bitcoin's hit its limit, and I just don't understand how Bitcoin could go up any further when it is proven to be a Ponzi, a real Ponzi scheme. So yeah, I'm just, at the end of the day, I'm just not about it. And I think I would like to believe that most people are aware that it's a Ponzi and that it really doesn't deserve any kind of recognition. But hey, you can only do what you could do, and people will either accept where I'm coming from or not. But, we shall see. We shall see. Definitely having a dip in viewership. Well, we'll probably end this here in just a second. But, I really do want to thank everybody who subscribed just a little bit ago. We got way more subscribers than usual. As like I said, we're always trying to expand the show, expand the reach, expand the audience, and really be able to talk to the audience. So just having you guys on here, you guys keep the show going. You really do. So big time, I want to give a shout out to everybody. Like I said, we're getting close to ending the stream for the day, this particular stream. We're going to be doing more live streams today, don't you worry. I'm going to take a little bit of a break today, just for about a couple hours. Because the next 3 days, I'm going to probably be doing a little bit of DoorDash. I'm never going to guarantee anything, but let's see. It's funny, I'm checking my fantasy lineup today. There is Thursday Night Football, which I'm going to be tuning into that a little bit today, but I am also going to be primarily focused on the good stuff here. Yeah, let's see if my opponent has Jackson Smith and Jigba. Oh, this will be an interesting matchup, man. But yeah, Trey McBride has become like the dude's been like the number one target on the Arizona Cardinals. It's been huge. But thank you guys for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. I really appreciate it because we are, let's see, question is, so break time. Yeah, in just a little bit, I'm just waiting for my, once my girlfriend gets here, I like to have lunch with her. So I can end the stream at any time, which is great. So once she gets here, I can end the stream and chill out with her for a bit. And, if she's having a bad day, though, then I do try to make sure I'm comforting to the best of my ability. But, yeah. It just depends. I always like to make sure I'm as available as possible to do the right stuff. So, what are my favorite sports teams? The Seattle Seahawks are definitely my favorite football team, but we're not. I don't know. I just don't think we're that good this year. I don't have a lot of faith in the team this year. I think we could go somewhere. I don't have a lot of faith in our defense this year. I like the fact that we have Sam Darnold as our QB. I think he's okay. I miss Geno Smith. I love Geno Smith. I think he's actually one of the best. So that's definitely, him not being on the squad anymore is solely disappointing for sure. But yeah, huge Geno Smith fan for sure. Let's see. But yeah, and then as far as baseball goes, Seattle Mariners, which they clinched the AL West. Unbelievable, man. So go Seattle. We're playoff bound, which is crazy. I can't believe we clinched the AL West. Incredible, insane. I love it. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. And I don't know if anybody's a baseball fan in here, but when the Mariners broke their playoff streak, and what I mean by that is when I talk about their playoff streak, I'm talking about them not making the playoffs for as long as they did. That was crazy to me. That was insane to me. And when they finally broke that curse that they had a curse, man. I called it the Safeco curse. Because actually, it's funny. The moment we tied the Chicago Cubs record for the best record of all time, I felt like there was like a bit of a curse on Seattle, the Mariners, for not even making the playoffs. Now, by the way, the Seattle Mariners have actually never won a World Series. In fact, I think we're one of the few teams that's never been to a World Series. And you know what? Could this year be the year that Seattle Mariners make the World Series and win it? We do have Cal Raleigh, and he hit 60 homers, by the way. He broke the 60 home run barrier. Insane, man. Insanity. And if I'm correct, that's the most home runs in a single season for a catcher ever. And I think that's the most home runs for a Seattle Mariner ever. So that's a huge accomplishment, man, though. So we got to give a big shout out to Cal Raleigh. And like I said, I'm a huge Cal Raleigh fan. They call him the Big Dumper? Is what they call him. And he's just so good. He's just very good. And as you all know, even though I don't watch a lot of baseball anymore, I still root on the Mariners. I still, when the playoffs come around for baseball, that's when I start really getting into it. It's kind of like the NBA. I only really watch the NBA once the playoffs happen because the regular season just gets so boring. It's sad. Yeah, the regular season gets pretty weird. But for basketball, my favorite team is the Portland Trail Blazers. Outside of it, though, I mean, the front office for the Portland Trail Blazers has been pretty rough. I don't know. Oh, whoa. Old School Football Plays is asking about the bathmate. Dude, my boy knows it. So who is this? Is this somebody I know? How do you know about... I mean, I talk about the bathmate quite a bit on this show. It is a hot topic. Old School Football Plays says, bathmate is your favorite team. How did you know? How does he know that I'm the biggest bathmate fan? I'm a big bathmate guy, dude. I love the bathmate, okay? I think we all love the bathmate at the end of the day. So the bathmates. So do you like the bathmate? Are you a bathmate guy? Old School Football Plays? Are you a bathmate, dude? That is the question. Do you guys want me to show? I won't show you guys my bathmate because I don't really know the rules on YouTube for those types of toys. But yeah, the bathmate is pretty dope. If you guys want a big schlangus, if you want a bigger schlangus, man, the bathmate makes your dongus go crazy. It's awesome. Old school football plays says bathmate ordered one for my whole family on Christmas. Heck yeah, bro. Heck yeah. Dude, how did you know I was such a huge bathmate fan, by the way? Have you watched like previous videos and seen me talk about the bathmate? Or actually, do you know me in real life and know how much I love the bathmate? Is this Von Knight's alt account? Is this Mike Lambert's alt account? Is this Mike Janey's alt account? Who is Old School Football Plays? Old School Football Plays, what is your name? What do you do? Anybody who talks about the bathmate is a friend of the show by default. Anybody who talks positively about it, that is. It's good to see some positive bathmate talk. Bathmate's a good product. And to those who hate on bathmate, not a fan. All right? Old School Football Play says, I could just tell you were a bathmate fanatic. Dude, just by looking at me, oh, that's so crazy, dude. Maybe you have the gift of reading people, dude. Maybe you have the gift of reading people, brother. So, Old School Football Plays says, and I quote, it's on the screen, but I quote, I could just tell you were a bathmate fanatic. I know. I can't help myself, bro. And I can't help myself. Ooh, drives me crazy. Ooh, like no one else. But hey, there we go, dude. This guy could tell just by looking at me. He took one look at me and said, dude, this guy uses a bathmate. This guy is in love with the bathmate. Alec Costello says, what's up, gay? Okay. What up, dude? Are you a brony brother? I'm assuming that everybody who gets on this show is a brony brother. Loves the bathmate. I know that you guys are bathmate fanatics. All of you guys. I can tell. I have the sixth sense. All right? Look it. When it comes to the bathmate, I get it. I get it, brothers. Deep down, we're all brony brothers. We're all into the bathmate. It's just something I could tell that my audience are huge followers of the bathmate. Why do you think I talk about the bathmate so much? Why? It's pretty obvious. Because I am a avid fan and lover of the bathmate. Okay? What's not to love when it comes to the bathmate? What is not to love? All right? So if there's any haters in the chat on the bathmate saying that, hey, bathmate's for weirdos and sickos. No. Bathmate is for people who want their dangus to be big. All right? Look it. I measure my dangus from butt to tip. Butt to tip, I'm like 14 inches. Base to tip, I'm like 2 inches, okay? I learned that measurement from my boy Andrew Russo, by the way. The butt to tip measurement. All right? It's like doing steroids, you know. Oh, it's windy out there, man. Heard that window rustling. Oh my goodness. All right, let's take a look. Nightbot says regular chat equals background convo. Super chats equal guaranteed response plus on-screen shout out. Yeah. Heck yeah. F yeah. Let's roll, dude. Let's roll. Because I don't know why I'm that kind of guy. All right, so what else we doing here? What else we got going on? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now 1. Nothing wrong with me. 2. Nothing wrong with me. 3. Yeah, we're at the right spot. Yeah, we're right where we need to be. But yeah, no, with the crypto markets in free fall, I do think the crypto markets do need to crash. I mean, in my opinion, it is well deserved for a crypto crash. I just can't see any other way except for cryptocurrency to go the way of the dinosaur. I just see nothing good. I just don't think that. Look, I think there's a net negative in society when people think that Bitcoin. Look, society's rotting when people think that Bitcoin's a real asset, right? Society is in pure decay if they think that something as dumb as Bitcoin is even legit, even remotely legitimate. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate the vine. Thank you, brother. Rub-a-dub, scrub, poke, point. Yeah. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that. But let's roll with it. Let's roll with it, G. But I appreciate the vine. I appreciate the sub. More subs we have, the better. Absolutely. Let's see. Hellisher8 says my pro teams are the... let's see, the Anaheim Ducks, nice. Detroit Tigers, Chicago Bulls, Miami Dolphins. Ooh, I feel bad for you if you're a Miami Dolphin fan. Also, Chicago Bulls have been looking a little shaky, in my opinion, but as a team overall, but definitely huge on the Dolphins, though. Huge Miami Dolphins fan. I think they're... Look, I like Mike McDaniel, but man, dude, he's lost the locker room. I just feel the Dolphins are screwed as a team, and I think that they're going to go 0-4. And Mike McDaniel has completely lost the locker room. And I think by middle of the season, my prediction is Tua is going to get traded, or they're just going to cut him. No, I'm happy that Bitcoin drops because Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. I bet against Bitcoin because Bitcoin is trash, Bitcoin is clickcoin, Bitcoin is a Ponzi. Now, you know me. I cannot stand Ponzi schemes, man. I think they're disgusting. Not a fan of them. Let's take a look. Now, what's great is what I do is I could sell in the overnight markets. What's really fun about the overnight markets is they, like, on a day where something is bearish, they could be pretty bullish in the overnight markets. And sometimes the overnight markets can get even more bearish than the bear today. So if, like, the SEHX, for example, goes down quite a bit, I mean, there might be an opportunity there. But yeah, today I was able to make a pretty penny off of the SBIT, and that's a good thing. And yeah, I plan on mainly swing trading the SEHX because, in my opinion, it's a safer swing trade than anything. But I really do think that Bitcoin is fails in many, many ways, and I don't see it as a viable. Honestly, I don't see it as viable anything. Yeah. No, dude, I use the SBIT. It's a way for me to profit off of the downfall of something stupid like Bitcoin. It allows me to bet against Bitcoin. It's not financial advice. I just don't believe in Bitcoin, man. I just think that Bitcoin's stupid. And I proudly bet against it in any way that I can. And I think it's the smartest thing I can do, is bet against something that is clearly a Ponzi scheme, clearly not good for society, as a whole. Like I said, I think, just like Peter Schiff said, I think that Bitcoin is a net negative to society. So at the end of the day, you could think what you want, do what you want on that one, but I'm happy to keep betting against it, man. I just think that at the end of the day, it's a real net negative. It's just sad, man. Here's the thing, BLM. I mean, if you're betting against Bitcoin, I think you'll be a millionaire by the end of the year. That's my prediction. But if you really think that Bitcoin is going to help you become rich in the long run, if you're a buy and hold Bitcoin guy, man, you're going to get in for a rude awakening when the crypto markets crash. Really, really crash. And look, it's already crashing, man. Bitcoin is severely down for the day. It's going back down again. And look, a lot of us know that Bitcoin is the creme de la creme, the poster child of scams. It's so scammy. And that's just the problem, man. Nobody wants to acknowledge just how scammy it is. All right, there we go. Okay. BLM says you'll deliver my food and I won't tip you. That's okay. Let's see. Do you think a slight pullback is a crash? Look, first off, I think Bitcoin is a clown market. I think that all things crypto is clownery. I think if you believe in Bitcoin, I believe you are misguided, and I do believe you're on the wrong track. But I do believe it's a clown show. I do believe it's clownery. And I don't believe in it. I just don't believe in it. Like, I just think it's just so phony. It's phony baloney dildo money, dude. And that's the thing I don't get is why so many people seem to be so on board with it. And I think that's the part of it that just kind of blows my mind a little bit, you know? But yeah. One moment. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm a little too hard on Bitcoin? Do you guys think I could be a little nicer to the Bitcoin bros? Do you guys think that I've just been a little cruel to the Bitcoin boys? That's why you'll be delivering my food. Here's the thing, man. No, look, I make money on YouTube. I'm going to admit that right now. I make good money on YouTube. I make good money delivery driving. I'm racking up dough. I really am. And that's the best part about this, man. What college teams do you root for? And if so, which sports from those colleges? So I'm definitely an Oregon Ducks guy. I love the Oregon Ducks. I consider myself an honorary. I'm a Texas Longhorns fan because Season, may she rest in peace, is a huge Texas Longhorns fan. So, because she was such an amazing person with a damn good heart, you know, if I see the Texas Longhorns succeeding, I get really happy because I know Season would have been cheering if she were around today. So, damn. So Oregon Ducks and the Texas Longhorns, you know, big time. BLM says sports ball. Heck yeah. By the way, I want to thank everybody who subscribed to the channel. The more subscribers we get, honestly, the more the more the algorithm puts us out here. So even times where I don't get a super chat, man, if I'm getting more subscribers, man, I've done the right thing. And I want to thank everybody who subscribed today. It means a lot. It's big time, man. But yeah, Oregon Ducks and Texas Longhorns for sure. Big time. But yeah, I'm happy to see the crypto markets in free fall. Look, I'm not a crypto guy. I think crypto is, at the end of the day, it's very much grifto. I don't believe in it. I don't trust it. I think it's just foolish. And I think at the end of the day, man, people who get into that stuff, they're usually degenerate gamblers and do terrible things. like the guy, what's his name? Ben from Buttboy Crypto, right? Bitboy Crypto. I call him Buttboy Crypto. But dudes like that, they're just degenerate gamblers, man. Anybody who gets into crypto is basically a degenerate gambler who's going to who's going to lose all their money at the end of the day. And, yeah. It's just crazy. Uh-oh, my boy Jalen Warren's on the questionable list. Let's see, Warren carried the ball. He's on the questionable. Uh-oh. Damn, dude, damn. What the hell? BLM says, Big Bird Garza, what up, dude? My brony brother. I am going to tweak a few sound settings real quick. One moment, everybody. There we go. There we go. And then we're going to go a little lower with the decibels. There we go. All right. I think the show's in the right spot, at least vocally. We're good. We're good. As long as we're not hitting the yellow. I try to avoid hitting the yellow to begin with, just because it's, you got to do what you got to do. Oh, yeah. There we go. One more time. There we go. We're good. But yeah, I think, what we're seeing right now is, it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. Hold on. Just pumping this up a little more. There we go. We don't want to be too close to the yellow on this button, but we want to do, we want to do the best we can to make sure that we're heard, but we're not really, going too crazy on it. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that what we're seeing right now in the crypto markets is deserved? Well, I mean, I think so. And the thing for me is I just don't understand I think people romanticize Bitcoin a little too much, and it just gets a little old. And when you romanticize crypto and Bitcoin and all that, I just think you're on the wrong path. BLM, dude. What up? BLM's on to me, dude. BLM gets me.
Damn, you're very sexy.
Oh, let's see how this goes. Just subscribe. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the Vine, dude. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. More subscribers, the better. We're really trying to expand the reach of this show, and if we could do it, we could do it. If not, we can't, and I'll accept that and keep going from there. But I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish on this show. This is just something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I feel like I've been accomplishing what I've been setting out to accomplish. Yep. I'm kicking butt, though. I do have monetary goals that I try to make it within every 3 days. And, so more super chats we get, the better. It helps the channel grow. Big Bird Garza, Grok says you make $500 a month max with your sub count. Clown Show. Hey, we're still growing, though, man. The goal is we're still growing is the thing. The show grows. That's the most important. We're getting more subscribers. We're getting more reach. And the more the show is seen, the better. So BLM is saying all your takes are uneducated and low IQ. How? Me saying that... Okay, here's the thing. I say that Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. And I'm right. There is nothing that makes it valuable on its own. People pointing to the crypto markets and saying, look at how high Bitcoin is in the crypto markets. That is uneducated right there. That's low IQ. Me questioning that is actually high IQ. Me actually being able to see how degenerate, how it's just a gambling degeneracy in the crypto markets, and that it's all stupid. It's me pointing out that Bitcoin is a legal Ponzi scheme, and I think I'm on the right side of history for pointing those things out. That's just me personally, though. I think I'm on the right path with it. No, that is not true. That's, by the way, BLM. That is a low IQ take right there. Value is what is perceived. No, it is not. You're thinking it in the form of collectibles. Collectibles are another example of something that has no intrinsic value, but people put towards their perception. Perceptual value is not intrinsic value. Intrinsic value matters far more than perceptual value, because at the end of the day, at the end of whatever, anything with an intrinsic value of zero eventually goes to zero. BLM says fiat currency also has no value realistically. Guess you should stop using the US dollar. Yeah, I don't believe in the US dollar either. The US dollar is backed by nothing. Why do you think I own stocks? Why do you think I try to get exposure to gold? Why do you think I do that? Think about it. Really think about it. BLM, you know that Bitcoin is just as fiat as the dollar. The dollar and fiat are both, the dollar and I consider Bitcoin fiat, by the way. I consider all cryptocurrencies to be fiat currencies. And they're just stupid digital collectibles that are basically going to go the way of the NFT. But yeah, what I'm trying to tell you is this, bud. It's phony, it's baloney, it's phony baloney dildo money. All right? That's a high IQ take right there, if that's what you want. And it's the truth. It's the truth. Anything with an intrinsic value of zero eventually goes to zero. Like, it's not hard to figure that out, brother. It's definitely not hard. And I'll happily educate you on it, man. But yeah, no, it's funny. BLM says I have low IQ takes, but BLM is a crypto shill, so I don't know. Sorry, bud. I win, you lose, brother. That's all it is. Either way, I love betting against Bitcoin because I do make money on it. Shockingly. But yeah, it's fun to bet against Bitcoin, man. I just don't see any other way. When something is valueless, man, you got to bet against it. But I do want to thank everybody for subscribing, man. We've had a lot of subscribers come in, supporting the show, keeping the show afloat, keeping the show rolling. And for that, man, I can't thank you guys enough for seriously getting involved in the show and make it. You guys do make the show better. I want to say that right now. Even the haters, you guys have made the show better. You've helped the show grow. To the haters and the lovers of the show, your attention matters a lot. BLM says, I'll see you when Bitcoin is worth $1 million. Hey, look, I still own Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin's $1 million, I'm still going to, the unrealized gains are still going to cover the unrealized losses. So anyway, Bitcoin, BLM, that's the type of behavior that leads me to believe that Bitcoin is a valueless Ponzi scheme, because I swear to Christ, it's a digital MLM. The way you guys speak to people who are anti-Bitcoin proves to me that you're part of a digital MLM scheme. Proves to me that it's a Ponzi scheme and it deserves to crash. And I want to see it crash. One, I am so sick of seeing Michael Saylor smugly go on CNBC saying, we need to buy Bitcoin, and if you don't buy Bitcoin... Oh. Hold on, folks. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Michael. I was just going to talk to you about this weekend and see if you were interested. If not, no big deal.
Yeah. Oktoberfest. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, so we were gonna be out there probably about 6 o'clock or something, invite you to eat there, watch the band, probably leave around 9.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know if you were interested.
So I always forget how far is Cottage Grove.
Well, from the cabin,
Yeah.
it's probably about 45 minutes, 35 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah.
Probably,
It'd be cool to
if
see.
you wanted,
It'd
you
be
could
cool.
drive the car. What?
It'd be cool to see Uncle Bob play. That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah. So if you wanted, like, you could come up, or you and Brittany, whichever, could come up and stay in the cabin if you wanted, and then we could all just drive in the Tesla to the concert thing.
I mean, I would take my own car for sure. Um,
Actually, doesn't involve the freeway.
no, it doesn't. You remember, I always have my thing set to no freeway. So
Yeah, I know the back road is awful,
yeah.
so I'd rather you just go with us.
I mean, honestly, I got crap going on. I mean, I don't mind hanging out with you guys at the cabin if you're gonna be at the cabin or whatever. It's
He
just,
has a personal thing, so he has to
okay.
go home.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the offer. I appreciate it. I don't know. It's just with everything going on in my life, I just got to make sure. I was actually planning to do some DoorDash like on Friday tomorrow, and then some other stuff tomorrow. Well, not on Saturday, but like I don't mind like if you guys are going up to the cabin to do some work or whatever. I mean, like I can, I'll see how it goes. I'll see how I'm feeling. But yeah, I don't, me, I don't really particularly care to be a passenger at all. But you know.
I just thought I'd extend the invite out there and let you know what's going on.
No, I'll wait on it. And I just, just still trying to. I'm still for this month. I'm just being a workaholic as much as possible, kind of a no days off sort of thing, and just until I figure out more about unemployment, if I'm actually, because I won't believe that I have it until I have it.
Exactly.
So that's why I've been working my tail off and trying to be smart about things and yeah, it's just the way it's the way I work, and just when things are a little crazy, I gotta get crazy. So, um,
Okay.
but I might visit you guys up at the cabin if you guys are gonna be there at any point. I'll probably if you guys need a little helping hand, I don't mind helping out. I don't mind spending time with you guys for a bit. You know, but because it'd be a nice diversion. So, but anyway, I'll see how I'm feeling. But I love you, Mom.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. All right, guys, I'm back. But yeah, sometimes it's crazy the amount of haters that come into the chat, man. It's just wild to me. Like this person right here, man, just hating. This person right here hates all day, dude. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. But yeah, a lot of these guys don't even have profile pics. They won't even use their real name. That's the thing. A lot of these cowards on the chat, they just don't even say their real name, man. And that's the part I find funniest about it is just that these people are just not willing to reveal who they are. And that's kind of the frustrating part about it is like they just, and I guess anonymity, gives people the ability to say whatever the heck they want, but it happens. It's just the way the world works. But I want to say I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm probably going to end the stream here in just a little bit. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I'm going to upload a short real quick. I was using my Opus Clip video editor. What's great, man, is I do make a little bit of dough from the short videos that I put out. So let's see. I'm going to listen to one of them real quick. I'll probably mute the site real quick. Oh, it's already muted. Okay, cool. You watched 3 of my shorts? Heck yeah, dude. Short videos rock. My shorts are tight. Well, I am going to eat some lunch, you guys. I do want to say I appreciate everybody who came into the chat. Obviously, the more people we have in the chat, the better. It does make the show better. It increases the value of the show. And just having you guys interact, whether you guys are haters, whether you guys love the show, we just appreciate you big time. And we're always trying to improve the show in any way we can. But if anybody's got any final super chats they want to add to the conversation, absolutely. So one last call for super chats, everybody. It really does help the show. We are trying to make a certain goal. And if you want to get recognized, a little bit of clout, obviously, super chat it up, dogs. Other than that, another fun fact about the show. Why are we, so you're probably wondering, why are we so hard on crypto and Bitcoin? Why are we so critical of them? And the reason I'm critical of them is just because they don't have intrinsic value. And that's something that's always bugged me. I wouldn't say always, but it is something like when I was young and naive and didn't know any better, I thought Bitcoin might be legitimate. But the older I get, obviously, and the more I looked into it, it's funny, the more I educated myself on Bitcoin and crypto in general, the more I realized it was just a bad investment. Not a good investment. But instead of selling what I had, I was like, well, I guess I could just keep what I have, and then I can bet against it later on down the road. Oh, my boy, dude. My boy. Saying, sup, man? What's up? My homie. Well, you know, it's funny. I realized I was like, I need to put my Opus Clip AI video editor to work because I have so much live footage. I actually downloaded some of my live videos and had it edit them into short videos. So it's funny because I'm kind of cornering the shorts market. I wouldn't say I'm cornering it, but I'm really putting myself into the shorts feed, not only on live videos, but I'm also putting myself on the shorts feed through actual short videos that are edited from the live videos. So it's really a win-win dynamic. I'm not trying to upload too many shorts at one time. In fact, if anything, I'm trying to upload shorts periodically through the day on probably 5, maybe 4-hour intervals. So for example, I posted one around 1 o'clock. So let's see, 1 p.m. Let's say 5-hour intervals. So I'd say 6 p.m. and then maybe at one point at 11 p.m. as well. And then I could schedule a release of these at 5-hour intervals, actually, which would honestly be the smartest thing I could do. It would automate the process. It would keep it good. But yeah, 5-hour intervals from starting at 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. and then 11 to 6. And then so then 4 a.m. So 4 a.m. So the cycles that I would be doing this at, scheduling these shorts, I would be scheduling a short for every 5 hours would be the goal. So that would be the key, at least the attempt. So schedule one for 4 a.m. because I don't want to overload. I want there to be some sort of semblance on this one. 9 a.m. And then we could go 12 and 2 p.m. And then boom. So that would be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So that would be 6 shorts a day if we were to do it that in those types of cycles. But yeah, dude, just kind of, it's funny because I've actually been making ad revenue from my short videos as long as I'm only doing like uploading one like every 5 to 6 hours. Actually, I might make it every 6 hours now that I think about it. So check this out. Let's see, because if we did, I think 6 hours would be better because it would be like maybe 4 per day. So, for example, let's 12 a.m. to and then so we would do one at basically at midnight, 6 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. However, even though I want to space these out 6 hours apart, I do want to take some, well, at 12 p.m. you are taking advantage of the East Coast a little bit, so that's actually not too bad. I think where I plant this matters. So if I want to reach a broader audience, I think I need to start at 3 a.m. Let's see, 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. And then schedule one for 9 a.m. Right? And then I think, because if you do 9 a.m., you're getting the lunchtime for the East Coast. Because here's the thing. I do like to keep my brain on East Coast time, even though I'm on West Coast time, because there's more of a population on the East Coast on the eastern and central areas of the United States than there is on the western side. So I do like to try to keep in mind the Eastern Standard time zones. So, and I'm doing these time frames for my Pacific Standard Time locally for easy understanding. So 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12, and then 3. Okay, yeah, and then 3 p.m. And then from there, we do then 9 p.m. And then the cycle repeats. So 3 a.m., 9 a.m. Because I think getting one in the morning is always good. So 3 a.m., 9 a.m., 3 p.m., and then 9 p.m. So I think that ends up working out for a good short schedule. So if I were to actually implement that now, then boom, easy money. But I will let you guys go since I was going to stop the stream here in just a few seconds and get a couple things out of the way, and I got to eat lunch too. Hey, baby. But I want to thank everybody for participating, and also just, talking about the free fall of the Bitcoin market today. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I can believe it, but whenever it happens, it always comes out of the middle of nowhere. I'm like, oh, okay, I can make a little bit of money today. So I made a little bit of money there. I added to my position on the SEHX. So the funny thing is, I'm going to tell you guys this. Swing trading the SEHX is actually, because it's a safe investment for the long term, but it is also fun for the short term because you can take advantage of the short-term volatility and make a little bit of a buck here and there. So SEHX is one of my favorite ETFs specifically to swing trade because it is a moneymaker. It is a big-time moneymaker, without a doubt. But yeah, to my boy Nate Dogg and his things and shit says, sup, man, sup. I am going to do some scheduling of a couple of these things, implementing some shorts scheduling, and then, yeah, so I think I figured it out. Just 6-hour blocks, 3 a.m., 9 a.m., 3 p.m., 9 p.m., and then boom, cycle continues. That way we're not overflowing the shorts feed, and it gives the shorts that I put out there time to acclimate and get the views they need to get. So I think that's probably a good one. I think 6-hour spacing is really a good thing. I thought 5-hour would be good, but I was like, nah. I'm better off doing the 6 hours for sure. But yeah, 4 shorts per day and schedule them out. So it makes life easier for me too. Plus, I actually took a page out of my boy Nate Dogg's page, and because he did tell me, you don't want to spam out videos because it does hurt you in the end. He's right. I took that to heart, actually. That's one of the reasons why I decided, if I'm going to schedule it, I'm not going to schedule too many at one time. And I'm going to be as smart as I can about this. Without a doubt. But again, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to view this video. Also, by the way, the amount of subscribers we're getting is pretty crazy. It's a little overwhelming, in all actuality, and I'm happy about it. Don't get me wrong. In fact, you guys have been too nice, if anything. I really gotta say thank you to you guys, just everybody being so darn supportive, and gets to the point, man. Sometimes I just don't know what to say. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for your time. Thank you for the Vine, and thank you for rocking it out. I'll see you guys in the next episode. We're gonna talk probably a few more. We're gonna probably talk a couple controversial topics today, is what I'm thinking. So we're gonna go with that route, but we'll see where the stream takes us.